Welcome everybody on this beautiful Sunday morning. There isn't very many of us here today. I'd just like to remind you, turn your cell phone off. And our guest musician is William Cohen, and our woman reader will be Ann Dieter.
Actualizing our vision. Each day, I become more aware of my vision for myself and my life. I deserve to live my own life. No matter what our life has been like up to this point, it is never too late to be who we are meant to be. Each of us arrives in this life with special talents, aptitudes, and dreams, which we add to, augment, and refine as we mature. These aspirations and yearnings are the visions of our souls, the blueprints of our very being. It is our sacred assignment to actualize our personal vision as best as we can, both for our own fulfillment and as gifts to the planets and humankind. If we sacrifice our dreams or denigrate our gifts out of fear or as a concession to others' desires, we set ourselves up for a life of disappointment and resentment. Noted scholar Joseph Campbell precisely summed up the consequences of giving up our vision when he said, "Hell is living someone else's life." When I first heard that, I was in hell, having given up all my dreams and turning myself inside out in hopes of saving my first marriage. It didn't work. Although living someone else's life and burning our own dreams and talents on the pyres of fear and obligation may sometimes appear to be succeeding, it never does on the soul level. As the level of essence, we are being called to be a unique prism through which the divine can be reflected. In response, every fiber of our being is magnetically drawn toward becoming who we were meant to be. Anything less is hell for our spirit. Living our own life does not make us selfish and self-centered. Quite the contrary. When we actualize our vision, we become centered in our hearts and connected to our spirits, which naturally makes us more loving and less selfish. What are your special gifts and talents? Do you feel comfortable about how you are expressing them? If so, great. If not, what one small step can you take today or tomorrow to actualize your unique vision?
Our first hymn will be number 35, The Little Town of Bethlehem. We'll sing verses 1, 2, and 3. Number 35, Little Town of Bethlehem, numbers 1, 2, and 3.
This is the Christmas season, the first Sunday of Advent.
Oh, Good morning.
Good morning.
Today is our first day of Advent, and that's that 4-week period where we prepare ourselves expectantly, spiritually and emotionally, for the Christ Day, for the Nativity. And the candle I lit today is a candle of hope. And in the coming 3 weeks, other candles will be lit with other representations. And I did not know that much about Advent, so I wanted to read a little bit more, and I did. And found out that Advent has been around since about the 4th century. And some even have it going back to the original 12 apostles. And it's mainly a Western civilization celebration. But it is celebrated elsewhere in the world. And some of the note are like Normandy. They give children under the age of 12, they'll give them torches, and the children will go out to the fields where there are prearranged brush piles, and they'll set them afire, hoping that crops will be better the coming year. And in Italy, they have to do things different. Bagpipers will gather together, and they'll go and march upon the statue of Mary and play their bagpipes before her. I thought that was fairly interesting. Now, I want to share a story with you, and it might seem off topic, but it will be germane when I finish. Back when I was a lad, about 12 or 13, I used to fish a lot, and I had a little lure. That was my favorite lure. And I was fishing a larger river, and it had a little tributary to it. And I was casting and fishing and doing a little jig with the lure and so forth, and it got caught up underneath the water, maybe caught or trapped up under a rock or embedded in a submerged log. And try as I might, I could not get it to come loose. Well, one way to get it to come loose is you release the tension on your line, and hopefully the rushing water will help loosen it, and maybe you can retrieve it that way. So I did that, and of course to no avail. And then the next thing you do is you can walk as far as you can on the bank to the right and pull, and far to the left as you can and pull. And my lure was not going to come out. It was steadfastly stuck under the water. So the only thing I left to do was to take my hunting knife out, cut my line, and discard my favorite lure. And it made me realize and recognize that in this period of Advent, you know how we think we have to shop till we drop? Well, this Advent, let's discard that idea. And the idea that the cookies and the pies and the cakes and the fudge all have to be done by the 17th or 18th, because I always share them with my coworkers and my neighbors. And what will people think if I don't have it done? I'll just discard that this Advent. And the Christmas cards, they have to go out by the 15th or 10th, or people will think I just don't run a good household. Couldn't stand for that. Discard that belief. And the Christmas tree has to be perfect, symmetrically perfect, 6, 7 feet tall, a fir. Every leaf bound to you with decorations, and up under the tree just presents wrapped gloriously with red ribbons and bows. And if it's not just perfect, I don't even want to celebrate Christmas. It's got to be perfect. Folks, let's discard that belief this year. Let's this year concentrate on that bright star over Bethlehem and the birth of our Jesus. If you'll recite the statement of being with me, if you can find it in your orders of service. God is all, both invisible and visible.
One presence, one mind, one house of all. This one that is all is perfect life, perfect love, and perfect substance. I am the individualized expression of God, and I am the one perfect life, perfect love, and perfect substance.
There's a sweet And I know it's the presence of the Lord. There are sweet expressions on each face, and I know they feel the presence of the Lord. Sweet Holy Spirit, sweet heavenly dove, stay right here with us, filling us with your love. And for these blessings, we lift our hearts in praise. Without a doubt we'll know when we vow, when we shall leave this place. This is the day of new beginnings. Time to remember and move on. Time to believe what love is bringing. Lay to rest the pain that's gone. For by the life and the death of Jesus, God's mighty Spirit, now as then, can make for us a world of difference. Let's make them whole or born again. Then let us with the Spirit's daring our disappointment of the field, our disappointment, grief and sorrow, seeking to pass and should abide. Christ is alive and moves before us to show what love and life can do. This is the day of new beginnings. Our God is making all things new. This is the day of new beginnings. Our God is making all things new.
The lights be lowered. Prayer box, please. Today's the time of our healing prayer. This is one of my favorite times during the service. If we are nothing, but we are, as I know, an adventuresome group. And I feel led to try something different with us. And I ask for your trust and your participation. What I want to do is visually have a prayer with us. So if you'll gently close your eyes now as I close mine. Get comfortable in your seat. I want to take you to that field, that meadow that we've been to many times before. Please visualize that as we walk in the meadow. The grass is a little higher than normal. It's brushing against our calves as we walk. And we're going to walk towards the edge there where the trees start, where we've been many times before. As we get closer to the trees, we see that well-worn path. It's so inviting to us that we love to walk down. It's safe, it's a refuge, it's where we like to explore. We walk down that path. We notice the different colors, the greens, the rhododendron growing over there, and the lighter green of the plant life. And we see a blossom every now and then, a wild blossom. And that just a distant view, in the distant, we hear the brook, we hear the water running over the rocks. It's such an inviting sound. We always like to walk towards the water, and we do. We gently step down into the riverbank, and we see that large rock that we sometimes sit on by the brook. And that sliver of sun has warmed the rock to our backside as we sit upon it. It's so warm, it's so comfortable. And we sit and we can hear the water, and we breathe in that clean air. It's cool from the water, yet we're warm, nestled against this rock. And we take a deep breath, and that cool air, so life-giving. And our eyes glance upward to the canopy of the trees above us, and the leaves have parted just a bit, and the morning sun starts to shine in. It shines on our face and on our arms. Oh, the light is so beautiful. It warms us so much. We are here feeling the warmth of the sun and the coolness of the water. And as the light shines upon us, we realize we are our oneness with God. We feel His very presence, His very touch. And the light surrounds us and envelops us, even cradles us. And we sit cradled in this light from God. In these next 60 seconds, please imagine the light on you and rest in God's light. light and healing love is with us this week as we prayed for Jerry, and Jerry's fine, he's healthy, he's back with us. And in my hand I hold names, concerns, worries. You let the light shine on that also. That name that's on the tip of your tongue now. Turn that over to God too. In Exodus 33, God said, I come before you in my presence to give you rest. Thank you, dear God, for this beautiful, beautiful rest. For this beautiful light that heals us. And we know that all is in divine order. Amen. Someone was still resting.
I'm sleepy this morning.
Good morning. I want to take you back just a few months, back to this summer, back to August, if you'll come with me. And it was the time of the 2016 Olympics in Rio. And that was the only good thing on TV this whole summer. But I really did enjoy watching the athletes. We got to see people like Michael Phelps, the most decorated Olympian of all time. 28 medals, 23 are gold. And we got to see him swim against his nemesis, Chad, the South African. Now I need to give you a little backstory on Chad and the South African. When Michael was 16, and his signature event is the 200-meter butterfly. When Michael was 16 to the age of 27, he never, ever lost that race, ever. In all of his world competitions or Olympic competitions or just local meets when he was younger, he never lost that race. Well, in 2012, Chad, the South African, beat him. Michael came in second, silver place. And I don't think that sat very well with him. So we're fast forward to now. And Michael's in the Olympics again. And they're in the warm-up area, and the TV cameras are in there. And you can see Michael sitting at the back of the tent, and Chad's about 10 to 15 feet in front of him, sort of shadow boxing. He's trying to throw Michael off his game, trying to sunk him out, trying to get in his head. And if you saw the newspapers or anything, you saw that's when Michael made that big scowl. His face was just all contorted. He was not a happy person. Well, they called for the event to be held. Everyone walked out to the blocks. Ready, set, go. The buzzer goes off, and Michael hit the water like a porpoise, gobbling up yard after yard with his wingspan. He touched the winner's wall. He was first. He was so happy with his performance, he slammed the water with his hand. The water went flying. He let out a little roar, and then he held his finger up. Number one. He had beaten Chad, the South African. He regained his crown. Well, the TV commentators, I thought this was interesting. The TV commentator said, you know what? You don't poke the tiger. Then also this summer we got to see Katie Ledecky. She's 19 years old, 4 gold medals. Wonderful. She's such an engaging smile, such a pleasant personality in the pool as well as out of the pool. And she's primarily a long distance swimmer. She swims the 600, the 800, and the 1500. I've never seen another athlete like this. She, in the 800 meter, she swam and she was lapping her competitors. She hit the winner's wall and she had to wait 11 seconds for her nearest competitor to show up. 11 seconds in the pool. That doesn't happen. And then we got to watch the U.S. women's team, Simone Biles, what can you say? 4 gold medals. She led the team first ever back-to-back women's overall championships. They named themselves this year the Final Five. They always name themselves. Well, if I had to describe Simone, I'd say she's like a powerful muscle, exploding muscle, tempered with grace. I've never seen anybody move like that. She's unbelievable. And while I was watching the Olympics, it reminded me of some prior Olympics. And I remember in 1992, there was a black individual. He was Great Britain's 400-meter track champion. His name was Devin Redmond. And Devin was running in the Olympics, and he was on the back side of the track. He was in medal contention. He was in 3rd or 4th place. And all of a sudden, the TV cameras were all in, and all of a sudden you saw him, an anguished look come over his face. And he grabbed his right thigh, and he fell to the track. Well, you don't fall on the track, it's the center. It cuts you, it rips your skin. Well, by then, everyone else had gone on, and the race was over. And Devin picks himself up. Tears are streaming down his face. He's got this awful, agonized look on his face. He's in obvious pain, and he does the most amazing thing. He's holding onto his thigh, and he takes a hobbled step. And then he takes another hobbled step. And then another hobbled step. Well, his dad was in the audience, or in the spectator stand, and they say his dad is like a big bear, and he was. You could see the cameras flipped to him, and you saw this man pushing people out of his way. He's going, I'm going down here, I'm going to the track. Well, security wasn't as tight then as it is now. So indeed, he leapt down on the track, and he ran to his son's side, and he took his son's left arm and draped it over his shoulder. He took this big right arm and scooped it around his son's waist. And together, he made another hobbled step. And then another. Well, medical personnel came out and said, oh, no, we can get a stretcher, we can get a stretcher. And he said, my dad said, no, you don't understand what we're doing. You don't understand. We're going to the finish line. Well, they absolutely stopped the Olympics. And they just sat there with this camera on this man's face, tears streaming down. He's still hurting, but I think it was also because he realized he was losing his dream. The Olympics were over for him. And he's in pain, but he and Dad, together, hobbled one step, to one step, to one step, slowly across the finish line. And I want you to know, that's my Olympian. That's my Olympian, and that's my kind of people. In 1996, in the Atlanta Games, the U.S. had never won a women's overall team championship. Never did they. History of Olympics. Well, this team, they call themselves the Magnificent Seven. And somehow, as things were going on, they found themselves in 2nd place, silver contention. Well, that doesn't happen. Generally, it's Russia, Romania, and Ukraine. They always win. Somehow we were in 2nd place. And the TV commentators were going, wow, this is uncharted territory for the U.S. We're in 2nd place, this looks good. Well, there was only one event left, and it was the vault. I don't know what the vault is, where they run down the straightaway, and they vault 10, 12 feet up in the air, and spin and spiral, and they come down, and they stick the landing. I don't know that. Well, that was the only event left. When the Russian athlete got up, it was her turn, and she looked down the straightaway, and she went tearing off, and she hit the vault, she spun, she came down, stuck the landing. No. She fell backwards a little bit. She took a step. You can't do that. You can't do that, take points away. Well, it's okay. You get best out of two. Best out of two. So she made her way back to the starting position again. She looked down the straightaway, took off running, and she's up, she's flipping, she's twirling, she comes down and sticks that landing. She missed it again. The Russians don't do that. She missed it again. She stepped back. Wow, the commentators couldn't believe it. Look at this. The U.S. has a chance. We have a chance for the first time ever. It all fell on the shoulders of Curie Strode. Curie's 4'7", 82 pounds. Well, Curie got up and she looked down the straightaway. She took off running. She did her flips. And she's beautiful in the air, somersaulting and twirling. She comes down and sticks the landing. Oh, but no. She came down wrong. She came down off-centered. She twisted her ankle, and she fell to the mats. And she's withering it down on the mats, and obviously she's in pain. And matter of fact, they found out later she really had hurt herself. She'd torn some ligaments and tendons. What's the best out of two? Curie gets up, and she's trying to make her way back to the starting position, and the TV cameras are pointing at her. And the commentators are saying, oh, no, this doesn't look good. She's physically limping. She can't do this. How's she going to do it? How can she do this? Well, they didn't tell Curie that. Curie got up, and she looked down that straightaway. And she took off running. And she's up in the air, 10, 12 feet, flipping. She comes down, she sticks that landing. Perfect. Perfect. Equal weight on both feet. Perfect. She throws her hands up in that celebratory pose they do. And then she crumples to the mat. Crumples to the mat. She's agonizing. She can't walk. She's trying to crawl off the mat on all fours. You see, Curie knew what was waiting for her. She won the gold. We won the gold that year. Curie knew what was waiting for her. When she was 8, 9, 10 feet high in the air, she knew she had to come down and put equal weight on both feet. She knew the pain was going to be there. She knew that pain was going to be like electricity going through her body. She knew it was going to throw her on the ground. But she did it anyway. She did it anyway. And I want you to know that was my Olympian there. That's my Olympian. And that's my kind of people. In 2016, for the first time ever, the IOC, or the International Olympic Committee, said, you know, the world is in such dire straits. Let's make a team, we'll call them the refugee team. We'll invite people that are refugees from Syria and Lebanon and elsewhere. And they did. They clothed them, they fed them, and they even let 10 of them march in the opening ceremony. They had their own flag. It said, refugee. I want to tell you about one. Her name is Yusara Mardini. She's 17 years old. Yusara and her younger sister, who was 15, had fled their home in Syria with all the bombing. And they left without any parents. They left without a brother or an uncle. They just left. They wanted to go to freedom like you and I have, like we enjoy. And they had to worry about being accosted every day, about where we're going to get food, or how we're going to keep clothed, how we're going to stay warm. They made that trek across Turkey. It takes about 20-some days, and they made it. And they got to the Aegean Sea. This is where some make that crossing to like the Greek Isles of Lesbos, where they can make entry into Europe. Well, they got to the Aegean Sea, and I was looking in the news the other day. This is where 2,800 people have perished trying to make it across this Aegean Sea stretch. And I wanted to learn a little bit more about the Aegean Sea, so I looked it up geographically to see where it was. So I understand where it is. I have that concept. And then I also wanted to see, well, I wonder how deep it is. And I looked, it's 11,652 feet deep. Boy, you're in the deep end of the pool here, aren't you? You're not going to touch bottom. Well, Usara and his sister had made it to the shores of the Aegean Sea. And they saw a small boat or dinghy, 15 people on it, and they were getting ready to make sail. And so they all waited till nightfall. That way patrol boats and maybe pirates wouldn't get you. And Usara and her sister joined these 15 other people, so there was 17 on board. And they took off at night on the seas. They got about 3/4 of the way across, and the boat started taking on water. And Usara says she recollects that a little 6-year-old boy looked at her. He looked so frightened, so scared. And she said she smiled to give him confidence. And I'm thinking, you're 17 years old and you're trying to give a 6-year-old confidence? My gosh. Well, Sarah looked around and she realized, everybody here is going to die. We're all going to die. You see, she's the only one that can swim. Either they'll die from drowning or exposure. They're all going to die. Well, Sarah takes the lines, the ropes, and puts them in her teeth. Jumps overboard at night. The open waters, 11,652 feet deep. She's got the lines in her teeth and she's pulling, struggling. And she swims for 3.5 hours, taking these people to safety. They made it. 3.5 hours, open water, at night. And I want you to know, she's my Olympian. That's my Olympian. And that's my kind of people. And I want you to know, on this side of the room, you're my kind of people. And my friends over here, you're my kind of people too. You see, I think we've all had similar life experiences. We've all had our hearts broken. Whether it was a high school crush or a college sweetheart or later in life a divorce, serious. And that person you thought you would be hand in hand with, it didn't happen. The dream was shattered. And we've all lost someone through the throes of death, whether it's a mother or father or an uncle or a pet. So we know what it feels like to really have a hurt heart. We know what it feels like to long and to really miss someone. And by good fortune, good luck, or divine intervention, or God's grace, we find ourselves here at this beautiful, wonderful Valley Community Church, a church of divine science. And I started thinking this week, I just don't hear these 3 words that much anymore. I don't hear it. You're a winner. I don't hear people say that. You're a winner. You're a winner. Sam, Meredith, you're a winner. William, Mason, you're a winner. You're a winner. In John 10, Jesus said, I come so that you may live more abundantly. This perfect love, perfect substance, perfect God wants us to live abundantly. Not with half a heart, but a full heart. Not 3/4 of a life, but a full, complete life, full of joys, experiences, relationships, companionships. Yes, yes, you are a winner. Yes. And God wants us to live boldly. And God wants us to live happily. Nathaniel Hawthorne said it best when he said, happiness is like a butterfly, just out of grasp. But if you sit quietly enough, it might light upon you. If you You sit quietly enough, it might light upon you. Well, we all want to manifest as much happiness in our lives as we can, and one way to do that is with this quiet time. We call it prayer time, but you can call it prayer time, quiet time, your time, revelation time, it doesn't matter. But if you're not practicing it, I suggest you take 3 minutes a day, or preferably 5 minutes a day, and just sit quietly. And what you'll find over a course of days is that your mind on its own will become more thankful, more grateful, more thanksgiving. And as your mind thinks this, your heart changes. You're more grateful, you're more thankful, a little more thanksgiving. Thus you are a bit happier. So I suggest you sit quietly and let that butterfly light upon you. Oh, you are a winner. Yes, you are. You're a winner. In John 3, Jesus said, I pray that you be prosperous and in good health. You mean this perfect love, perfect substance, perfect God wants me to live abundantly, boldly, happily, prosperous, and in good health? You have it all. You have it all. You're a winner. I will tell you a secret in life, and y'all know this when you've used it many times before. If you want to go for that job interview, or you want to land that big account, take a class, or any other task, here's the secret. Stand up and show up. Stand up and show up. You see, just by showing up, you'll be ahead of 50% of the people for that job interview. 50% of the people won't even bother showing up. You're a winner. Show up, make that account, make that call to that account. You'll be ahead of 50% of the people. Indeed, you are a winner. In Timothy 6, Paul said, God came to give all of this to you for you to enjoy. All the sun sets and the sun rises, and the deep blue in the sky, and the fallen leaves at the base of a tree, and the bare branches like fingers reaching skyward. The creeks and the rivers we like, and the mountains we adore, and the smile on a friend's face, and the twinkle in the eye of someone you love. You have it all. You have it all. You are a winner. You are a winner. In John 14:27 is so perfectly stated, so well articulated, that if you, just with your permission, I'm just going to read it to you. I am leaving you with a gift, peace of mind and heart. And the peace I give is a gift the world cannot give. So don't be troubled or afraid. Beloved, this is the essence. This is the very essence. This is the center cut. God has come to give you and me peace of mind and heart. The world can't give it to us. Listen, listen. Don't be troubled or afraid. You are a winner. You are a winner. You are all my kind of people. Will you pray with me now? Dear God, thank you for the light that you showed us earlier. Thank you for the peace of mind and heart. Thank you for being with us. Thank you. And it is so. Amen.
Amen.
time for the blessing of the gifts. You'll find it in your orders of service. Let's all say together. Today, I acknowledge God, omnipresent, as the source of all good, as the source of my good. With this acknowledgement, I accept His will, which is abundance in every aspect of my life. I release all thoughts of lack and limitation, and I am open and receptive to the increased flow of abundance to me right now. I joyfully accept the gifts of life and give freely of the special gift that I am. Through me, God omnipresent blesses and multiplies this gift for all. Thank you, dear God.
Marita, or Reverend Melanie, normally pass this basket out. It reminds me of a basket full of cares, concerns, and that we can pray about another person. So if you would, please take one, and if you will, pray for someone this week.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks to everybody that came out this morning. I know we have a few sick people that are out today, but we are very happy to have Jerry back today. It was a rough week, but I'm very glad that everything went well, and just very glad to have him here. Few announcements. I have to make a one call since there's not very many people here to remind them of some of these things. But we're back on schedule this week for our Wednesday night class and our Wednesday night coffee and our Thursday night happy chat. That's all back on schedule this week. This coming Saturday, 10 o'clock, be here to help decorate the church. I did my part. I put the wreath on the front door yesterday, so I'm not doing anything. Anyhow, I'll be here Saturday morning. We always have a good time decorating the church, so please come and try to help us with that. Then on Friday, December the 9th, we're having our Christmas party at 6 p.m., and we're going to do a little something different this year. Do you want to talk about that, Kate? You want to tell them what we're doing?
All right, so this is a tentative idea. Tell me what you think. I thought instead of doing the Chinese gift exchange or the, there are lots of names for it. I thought that we would play games instead. So I thought we'd have several different games. We'd be on teams, and everybody bring a gift. We'd have a gift table, and the team that has the highest number of points at the end gets to pick off the gift table first instead of doing the gift exchange. But it's all for a good time and just fellowship.
We're just going to have appetizers, snacks. We're not going to have a meal, so and bring whatever you want to drink. And I'll be talking about that again next Sunday because it's still a week away. But anyhow, keep that in mind. And it says bring a present under $10, so whatever. And if you've already bought a funny gift, hey, that's fine. We don't care. Like I said, it's right. It's about having a good time, and that's what we want to do. So make plans to come to that. I just found this out this week, December the 17th at 7 p.m., Kerry Hurley and some of his people are going to do a Christmas concert for us here at the church. So make plans for that. Everybody can come out and just enjoy an evening and not have to do anything themselves. So anyhow, he's going to do that at 7 o'clock, and he'll be on a love offering basis. He said he would do it for that. So it makes us happy. So put that on your schedule. I know it's a week before Christmas, but maybe everybody can just come and enjoy themselves. Also, next Sunday after church, we will have a congregational meeting. We have one twice a year, so it's time for that. Also, let's see, this week's flowers are given by Sylvia for her mom's 99th birthday. So she's not here. So anyhow, I think that's all of the announcements for today. Anybody else got anything they want to announce? Yes?
I just want to say that whoever did not make it today have missed a wonderful service.
Yes, they
That
did.
message was
Yeah.
wonderful.
It was-
Everything was
yes,
just
yes.
William Penn's song. It's been perfect.
Yes, it was. So thank you everybody very much.
And sick as I am, I'm glad that I came too.
Although you're in quarantine, we still.
We will have it on the website probably in a couple of days when Kamara gets it on there. She usually has it on there by Tuesday, so just pass the word to people that weren't here. They can watch it and listen to it, so thanks. Thanks again, Doug, it was great.
Yes, it was.
Our final hymn will be number 33, We Three Kings. We'll sing verses 1, 2, and 5. Number 35, or 33, excuse me, We Three Kings, verses 1, 2, and 5.